I remember watching Brock Lesnar do a front flip and land on his head. And I'm like, any other human is paralyzed from that. Any other human. To be 300 plus pounds, to be built like a fucking superhero, and to do a front flip and land on your fucking head. Most people are dead.
I think it was a backflip. I think it was a moonsault, right?
Was it?
Wasn't
Yeah,
a
I think
moonsault.
so.
Well, you would know more than anybody.
It was like an inverted.
Yeah.
He stood forward looking at you. It was like an inverted.
So it was
flip he
forward.
trying
There it is, Tony.
Oh, it is forward, yeah.
Look at the fucking
watch him invert.
size of
Oh,
him.
it was a forward backflip.
And he
Jesus
landed on his
Christ.
own head.
Oh, my God.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah.
Most people are dead.
Yeah.
Most people are dead.
Well,
I don't know what permanent damage he suffered, but by the way, he went from that to fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
He fought in the UFC after that, which is insane.
Well, I got him first when he came back from the UFC, okay? And I was kind of like winding down, putting guys over and doing my thing. And Vince goes, I want you to work with Brock. I went, okay, well, I knew his buddy Brad Riggins, who was he lived in Minnesota. He was the coach of the Olympic team several years back. And so when Brock was in high school, we had heard of him. We kept an eye on him, you know. But when he came back from UFC, they gave him to me first, and he was really intense, brother. You know, he was really intense. So my whole thing is we always grab somebody and squeeze them and give them the office. Like, if you got my head and you're about to break my neck,
Right.
I'll give you the office so you
Right.
lighten up, you know. And I squeezed the piss out of him, giving him the office, and finally I just started calling him Broccoli. You know, I said, Broccoli? I got him to laugh a little bit. I said, let me tell you something. If you keep hurting me in here, if you don't loosen up on the old man here, I'm going to make you look really, really bad because you're going to be in here by yourself. You know, I used to tease him all the time because he's a really good friend, you know. And so when I got him first, he was really, really intense. And now he's turned out to be one of the best workers this business has ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, he draws money, he backpedals, he sells, he's got instinct. He's, you know, got placement, he knows where he's at, he listens. Like, you don't have to tell him what to do. You don't have to have a right or write the match out. He goes out and listens to the crowd with his mind and his heart, you know, and it's something that's a lost art for him. He's got it, man.
What's incredible with Brock is that Brock went from pro wrestling to being the UFC heavyweight champion. I mean, and did so with such a short amount of time of training in MMA. I mean, obviously he had a spectacular amateur wrestling career. He was a legit top flight amateur wrestler and a fucking genetic freak. All those things. But to be able to make that transition to winning the fucking world title against a guy like Randy Couture, I don't think he gets enough credit for what I think a lot of people say. Oh, he was so big and he was this and that and he did steroids and there's all these excuses. Like, you don't understand what that guy did. Like, what that guy did is nothing short of insanity. Like, no one's ever done that before. No one's ever gone from, I mean, the way he did it too, and to fucking to get in there and beat a guy like Randy, who's, you know, one of the best of all time. Like, Randy was a real pioneer, and Randy was still really at the top of his game back then. It wasn't that, it was just, he was just fucking a freak, just a real freak. Like, I always said that if, like, that guy, like, fresh out of college, like, if we were in a different era, like, if he's coming fresh out of college today, and someone like Faraz Sahabi or, you know, Henry Hooft, like some top flight MMA instructor gets a hold of him as a young man and teaches him how to strike, where, you know, he's comfortable and he can move just like elite guys of today. Fuck. He would have been unstoppable. He would have been unstoppable.
He's a monster, brother.
He's a monster.
He still is.
He's like the biggest genetic freak maybe I've ever seen in the sport.
Me